This is general advice, my opinions, and for entertainment purposes only. CFDs are high risk, past performance isn't reliable. I may be long or short CFDs and stocks mentioned. Content may contain language that offends some viewers. Righto, bag holders and stop loss haters. It is global carnage, but Jesus Christ, the market hasn't reacted the way I thought it would, which is not convenient. And we're getting comments from the desk. Our first insto desk guy coming on. I thought I was getting Brad Seward from GBA Capital. Capital's insto desk, but we've actually got Ron Jeremy that's rocked up. Love the stash, mate.
That is brand new, a couple of months old, so it's finally filled in. It looks less 13-year-old boy and a little more sort of Ron Jeremy, as you said.
Very good, mate. Well, if anyone's been living under a rock, they wouldn't have heard that US, Israel are just bombing the living shit out of Iran, and Iran is bombing the living shit out of everyone in the Middle East. It is unprecedented times at the moment, and we haven't really seen a market meltdown. We've seen lifts in, a bit of a lift in gold, big lifts in thermal coal, crude oil, and even aluminium. But mate, what did you expect to happen yesterday, and how are you talking to people how to play this market at the moment? Because uncertainty is at its peak.
Well, mate, I think there's going to be a few things. As you pointed out, uncertainty's gone up and volatility is well and truly increased in the market. So I think you're going to see less deals over the next couple of weeks. And that's sort of the key thing that I've been saying to people. I think people have been expecting a few more equity capital markets transactions to occur over the last sort of, I guess, couple of months. We're not going to see that for at least the next sort of, month while Trump's doing his thing in the Middle East at the moment. But, I was having a really interesting conversation with someone yesterday on this, and I think the consensus is pretty much precious metals sort of go up. They'll spike a little bit over the next week or two, stay high, and then retrace back to normal-ish levels. Given where we are at the moment and the sort of global uncertainty. And I think what we've seen predominantly is just an increase in energy prices. As you pointed out, thermal coal's gone through the roof. Prices, I think, probably have got a little further to go over the next week or so. And then there's not a huge amount of ways to play it on the defence side in Australia. Obviously, the defence stocks have been rallying pretty aggressively in the States. So, a lot of people still own Austal, the sort of boat, Austal boats. It used to be a big sort of yacht and ferry builder, but now do a lot of the stuff for the Australian navies and navies across out, South Pacific, the sort of Asia Pacific. They had a bit of a negative sort of update recently, but that stock's been on a tear for the last 12 to 24 months. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see a bit more sort of flows into that, as well as things like Drone Shield as people look to get a bit of defence on. But I still think that the gold stocks are where you want to be. I'm pushing a lot of gold stocks really hard right now, Matt.
Yeah, it was. Cause I'll tell you what happened to me yesterday. I'll go into it for the listeners later, but I was like, there's so much uncertainty around whether, yes, gold will go up, but will money just fly out of equities when if there's this friggin', because this just seems like potential world war with everything that's going on and the amount of countries involved. And mate, it definitely made me nervous, but I assume this could be they're talking about 4 to 5 weeks potentially. They're not going to stop until Iran's been obliterated, really. But the Strait of Hormuz is technically open but uninsurable at the moment. The amount of uncertainties is so heightened. Have you how do you rate this amount of uncertainties to figure out, is this going to go a week? Is there risk that there could be a 20% market retracement on the indexes? How are you looking at it?
Well, mate, I think you spot on there, and my view, I think, still probably is to stay along the precious metal stocks. I think if you're going to be, obviously they've had a massive run, but over the next kind of month or two, there's a number of stocks that are going to get into production. You want to be in front of those. I think, Matt, looking at, I guess, a broader market outside of mining equities and I guess critical minerals or war-related minerals, you're obviously likely to see a bit more of a retracement as uncertainty goes up. So, I think the way I'm suggesting to my client base that they play this is definitely get a little longer the gold stocks over the next little bit as the uncertainty sort of increases. And I guess worst case scenario, this gets worse. The Strait of Hormuz, as you said, gets completely shut, and then you've got a bit of oil, a bit of precious metals in the portfolio, and those are probably the two things realistically, as well as some critical mineral stocks as well. I think anything that's got a bit of a defense flavor to it's likely to go up, but everything else you got to feel just with the increased volatility, it means the cost of equity goes up and the price of the stocks come down. So I don't disagree with the way you're thinking there, Matt, just around positioning on the broader market, but we're really far more mining and precious metals focused exchange at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, very much so. Because I think as the commodities have gone over, obviously your precious metals, mainly gold. Well, gold's probably the least volatile of them. The ones that have risen, so obviously oil, natural gas, thermal coal, aluminium. Do you think there's any other commodities that may get pulled into this on a supply-demand front? Or they're the main ones?
I'm really surprised we haven't seen some of the more niche metals go ballistic, to be frank. Things like antimony or gallium or more sort of broadly the rare earth space. And I think, maybe that's just given what the Trump administration's done in terms of trying to spur on some of the supply side in the West. I think a lot of the stocks, if we had a conversation today amongst the desk around different rare earth stocks, and I think half of the stocks we pointed out today, of the, I guess, a dozen or a dozen and a half rare earth stocks in the ASX, half of them are talking about a Trump administration-led financing. Whether or not that comes off for a lot of them, I think there's at least a bit of that baked into the share price. So that's maybe a little bit of an explanation as to why we haven't seen, the likes of, I guess, Meteoric or Linus rally pretty aggressively over the last couple of days. But I'd be surprised if those stocks or I guess some more of the antimony stocks don't go bananas as well.
Yep. Right, sensational. I reckon strap ourselves in because we're in the US market's only traded for 1 day since this has occurred because Trump conveniently chucked it on Friday after market when the bombings commenced so he could get his get his positions intact, I assume. So it's going to be a wild week. And, mate, we'll be following it here on Levered. Mate, thanks so much for coming on as the first insto desk bloody representative of the mining and finance industry. Good on you, mate, and you keep that bloody stash flying.
Oh, I love it. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it as always. Good to chat. Let's grab a beer.
Righto, there we go. Cheers, Seward / Ron Jeremy. Plenty more Insto Desk people coming on to Levered. Bit of bloody, nothing like a second voice. Right, let's go over happened commodities, stocks, everything overnight, and what Matty's done to try and keep himself alive. Shouldn't have touched anything, but oh well, I'm being mature. Commodities overnight. So you can see thermal coal. That was one that has sort of followed the rise in crude and bloody gas prices. Thermal coal's followed up $10 overnight to $128 a tonne. The Newcastle thermal coal. Coking was down a bit, but Whitehaven's actually lifted a bit this morning. Copper sitting at $5.91. So gold was about fucking in the 5,400s. It's actually come back overnight in the low 5,300s now. What else have we got? Rare earths haven't moved much. Nickel at 768. As you can see, oil, both Brent and the WTI have lifted shitloads. So Brent crude's sitting at $77, up 7%. Silver back up at 89. Spodumene still at 24.75, uranium 86.50. So plenty happening. And the majors overnight, biggest movers, MP Materials, Cameco. So bloody, they had a bit of news out. I'll go over in a bit. So uranium actually lifted. Alcoa up, as you can see. Aluminium's benefited from the Strait of Hormuz. I think it's Hormuz being closed. And then Exxon up 1%. Exxon's been on a bit of a run recently anyway. Golds weren't up too much. They were pretty flat, and they're actually down a bit today. Uranium World, so Cameco, I don't think they lifted because of this, but Cameco's just signed a bloody agreement with India to supply 22 million pounds over 9 years. So that 2.6 billion, I'm pretty sure that's Canadian dollars valued at the current spot price. So it's going to be on market related terms. So yes, India getting very, very bloody active as previously mentioned. So let's go over. So pretty much the market opened yesterday, and I am thinking with everything going on, and the amount of friggin' Iran they're bombing Israel, Kuwait, Oman, UAE, bloody like friggin' Dubai, Abu Dhabi. They bombed a Saudi oil refinery. Like, this is just absolute carnage what is going on. It is just fucking, I'm down in Margaret River sipping on wine, and there's just bombs flying around everywhere in the world. It's just fucking madness, absolute madness. And I'm just thinking this is going to be a very uncertain couple of weeks, or if not more. Just listening to Trump's comments, they predict 4 to 5 weeks for this surgence into bloody Iran to go on. Could be shorter, could be longer. I think the market last night reacted positively in a way, like all the indexes actually pull back up from the futures. They're probably thinking the overall outcome is going to be positive if Iran's just geopolitical risk of Iran is going to be eliminated, with pretty much the country being eliminated or a new government being put in place. But it is fucking uncertain. So yesterday I was just like, the fact I'm freaking leveraged, I am going to fucking sell all, because the equities were up a bit on the open. I just fucking dumped them all. In fact, pretty much all of them, because I just do not know what is going to happen. And I was just going to play gold index and held a short, and pretty much that's it, because fuck, who knows? Could go up heaps, could go down heaps. It's going to be volatile. Sometimes, as Ron Jeremy said, these events can see a bit of a bull run because people sit on their hands and then they come back in very quickly. And so who fucking knows what's going to happen? So I'm just going to try to be patient and be a bit mature. So I've done some rejigging. Here's where we're at. I've kept me NASDAQ short because I'm thinking that in terms of what has changed, the thesis on the NASDAQ short was money was coming out of tech. The CapEx is high, and they just got the AI jitters are there. Now with this geopolitical, effectively a fucking war going on that the US is involved with, I was very surprised that the money didn't fly further out of it yesterday, out of things like tech and into the more safe havens, but tech didn't actually get affected that much. But I am going to continue to hold that in the times of volatility in the event of a bloody market meltdown. I've opened a long gold metal, because what fucked up last time was bloody money flies out of equities much quicker than the metal. So I've gone long gold metal, so 50 Aussie bucks a point. So what's that? 266 grand worth of gold. Got that at 53.85. So I got in a bit bloody early there, unfortunately, because it dropped back down to low 5300s. I've kept the Bellevue gold short, so that's in a way not probably directly. It's more leveraged to gold going up at the moment, which, God, with all the gold tailwinds that were there previously, now with this going on, I'm thinking, fuck, surely gold metal is a safe-ish place to be. But if gold does retrace for whatever reason, I believe the money's going to fly out of the equities much quicker, I would anticipate. So I've maintained the Bellevue short, kept the Delta Lithium position because that's obviously direct exposure to gold with the Ballard holding. And who knows what lithium was. It was a small position, so I've kept it. Now I've gone down the chain. I've gone down the chain to an unleveraged position, a straight stock, Breakthrough Minerals. So I'm thinking maybe just mature times, just buy a share, not be leveraged, and see what happens. And this is I've had this has some potential catalysts coming up, and it's a small market cap, and I'm thinking downside, not heaps compared to being leveraged to something. Upside, plenty for me. So I'll go through it in the minute. BTM. So where we're sitting at. Okay, it's not too bad. It would be higher. It would be higher if I just didn't touch anything. Oh, maybe. Some of the golds have pulled back today, so I'll probably be the same. But fucking uranium went up, and yeah, I wouldn't be too much different today. But I've been mature. Like, look, it's not bad. 203. We're up. It's up 8.5% since I last reported. Up 12.8 for Matty's fund. Look, it's not bad. It's not that good. I thought it'd be higher. Like, probably going to keep the misses, hopefully. Like, it's, I'll definitely should be locked in if I got 300 in the account. So 203, I'm still on the fence probably a bit, but that's all right. I think I'll come good. So that's, one piece of pressure. I need life pressure. Nothing wrong with a bit of life pressure, Matt. This should keep me going. So that's where we're sitting. So the gold long, that's the gold medal, the 266. 83 is the Bellevue short. So we've got breakthrough as copper exposure now. Copper in North Queensland and miscellaneous. Fuck, look at that. Bloody NASDAQ, 1.2 mil, short NASDAQ. So, Jesus Christ, that's, I'm going to have to play that very quickly. I can't see it fucking spiking. Surely it has to go down a bit. Anyway, we'll fucking find out. Oh, I don't have bloody PMET, and that's incorrect. We've just got Delta as the miscellaneous long. So that's where we're at, 203. I was hoping to report a fucking 300 number today. I thought NASDAQ's going to shit itself, gold's going to go up. Close it all out. Matty resets at 300. And everyone's happy, including the missus. But not to be today, but maybe tomorrow. We've only had one trading day since all this shit's happened in Iran. So I'm not too stressed. I'm positioned, but. So, breakthrough. This is the area up in North Queensland. So you can see they've done a deal to get this Hazel Creek project, which is just north of like Dougal River and Harmony Gold's Eva Copper Mine project. And then they've got the old Mount Collin mine, sort of west of Cloncurry, and then this Cloncurry project. So it's rife in copper's bloody a bit of a flavour at the moment. Copper stocks have ripped. This one's only a $28 million market cap at the moment. They've got $4 million in cash, and they're going to start drilling soon. But they're in that North Queensland district, and between Harmony and, by the sounds like these Indonesian mobs that are looking to hoover up copper in North Queensland, this has some bloody exposure. So they've going to start, the deal hasn't actually officially gone through yet. It looks like, as you can see here, following completion of the transaction, which will be around fucking now, it's fucking getting close, but they're already talking about drilling. So they've got a 3,000 metre diamond drill plan to commence in March, testing bloody historical intercepts, which include 3 metres at 5% copper. So 11 metres at 2%. So that's for Hazel Creek. And then you got an announcement that's come out today for the Barbara Copper Gold project. So you can see that one is down here, sort of where in between bloody George Fisher Dugald River. That's the Barbara one. So it's got 6.5 million tonne at 0.97 copper equivalent at the moment. So like you'd look at if you sum up the contained copper it's already got, so you got bloody 100,000, 23s, 123, 190, bloody another 13, couple 100,000 tonne of contained copper already. So, and there's another, 1,500 metre diamond drilling campaign planned for Barbara. So the stock, it hasn't been marketed yet, really, because the deal hasn't officially gone through. You've got a bloody young MD on board, Nigel Brooman. He's got some bloody mongrel about him. I like that. I want some young dog hunger in the mining industry. Big Nige. Come on, mate. I know you can do it. So that's where the bloody Matty's mature punter's gone. while all this shit happens and see where the fuck the market ends up, because I was surprised at not heaps of volatility yesterday amongst gold and everything like that. Obviously plenty in oil and thermal coal and things like that with big lifts. But yeah, with everything going on, I'm just going to sit on my hands for a bit and be mature. So, and we'll hopefully get a fucking small cap double. Who knows? Who knows? Righto, punters. I've got a bit of a interview coming up, the Savi, which I should get out tomorrow, with one of the local fundies. I'll give you a hint. He's extremely alternative. He's going to have some good views on what is going on in Iran and the effect it's going to have on global markets and how they're playing it. So look forward to that. Cheers, punters. Spread the word about Levered. And if you're on the desk, give us a buzz. You can come on and do the morning show with me. Cheers, Brad, Seward, Ron, Jeremy, for coming on today. Righto, punters. Have a good one. Enjoy. Be safe.